Time for Chapter 9, Frostedmournes. The next day at Arthas's base camp.
You lied to your men and betrayed the mercenaries who fought for you. What's happening to you, Arthas? Is vengeance all as important to you?
Spare me, Muradin. You weren't there to see what Mal'Ganis did to my homeland.
The Dark Lord said you would come. This is where your journey ends, boy. Trapped and freezing at the roof of the world, with only death to sing the tale of your doom.
This looks bad. We're completely surrounded.
There's still one chance. Help me claim Frostmourne. If it's as powerful as you said, it might tilt the scales in our favor.
I have a bad feeling about this, lad. But I promised I'd see this through.
Captain, I'll leave you to organize our defense. Let's move out.
So this is the last mission of the human campaign, and as you can see, we are separated from our base camp entirely. So we need to use just ordinary units to defend our base, and that's going to be kind of difficult. We also get the last unit in the base game introduced here, which is the Griffin Rider, a flying unit. He throws a hammer. I can't really demonstrate it. Yeah, I'll throw it on this footman. There, he throws a hammer, and it hurts people. So that can also be upgraded to storm hammers, which hits a bunch of enemies in a line. Anyway, we will go ahead and get an extra 2 peasants going, because we only have 3 at the moment, and we'll get some more gold going. We also need some more lumber, and we need to shore up our defenses pretty much across the board, and it looks like they're going to be coming here first. Hopefully we'll be able to kill the necromancer first here, and he summoned the skeletons anyway, but that should make things a little bit easier all the same. Pull back this footman, and defenses up here are not doing too well because they did not kill the necromancer to begin with. And that's just kind of a shame, but oh well. Oh man, we lost the priest down here too. Okay, really not off to a good start with the base defenses. Let's get some more priests up. I think we'll probably need pretty much 2 for every area. For now, wow, we lost the knight too. We lost everybody. We should upgrade our war training, which will make our knights a little bit stronger. It gives them a boost to hit points and whatnot. But we should also definitely be moving Arthas through this area now that the defenses have more or less been completely and utterly annihilated. I think that was the call of one of our priests being finished. So we will move the priest over. Okay, so move the priest there already by just the virtue of using the waypoints.
Is there danger?
And a ring of protection +3, we'll put that on Arthas.
Of course. For honor.
Even though I think it would probably do better on Muradin. It really doesn't matter because both of our heroes are extremely high level at this point. So it doesn't. They both have really nice stats now. We'll use Thunderclap to stun the enemies, and we can't use any of our typical nukes that we were using before because these are wolves and they're not super undead mega wolves or anything like that. We can use Muradin's other nuke, which is this Stormbolt thing, And we could probably also go ahead and send a
Let's do this.
priest up here as well
For honor.
to send him through this portal, but we're not going to do that for right now. To send him, just get him back over here. I'm going to train up a couple more priests for every place and train up some knights to have them over here. We also need to get a handful more peasants so we can start chopping down trees a little bit faster. I don't really use the griffins all that much because they're really expensive. They're strong,
Of course.
but they're just
Certainly.
way...
Of course.
They just don't provide enough bang for the buck, I think.
Certainly.
We will have Muradin go ahead and use his Thunderclap again to stun and slow down everybody. We also should probably be focusing down the Shaman instead of the tankier guy instead. But, oh well, it's all done. Okay, so that was... Oops, I think I accidentally used an item. I hope that it went on somebody who deserved it.
For honor.
I think that it was just a tome of the Manual of Health or something like that, so it just gave him a little bit of extra healthies. 3 priests here
What
is a little
ails you?
overkill. We'll send one down. And are we researching any more? Okay, we'll upgrade our priests with the adept training.
I stand for
And
the
we
light.
probably are pretty much done with this section with just Arthas, because we've pretty much reached the top
course.
here. I don't quite understand what's going on in the mini-map, like why that area is already
For honor.
partially explored, but
A sound
oh well.
plan.
And our town is under siege, but it looks like this pretty much figured itself out. And this Wraith has temporarily turned our unit over. I don't think that's permanent,
I stand for the light.
well, actually it might be permanent. I don't remember if the Wraith mind control thing is permanent or not. But I do appear to be fighting him, so whatever. Bye, you.
For honor.
And I could also tell that he definitely changed sides because that
Of course.
changed the color.
A sound
He wasn't gray anymore. He was, well, he was gray. He wasn't blue anymore. That was the thing.
Mortals. Death and darkness are all that await you in this forsaken vault.
I doubt there's anything down here more terrifying than what we've faced already.
Believe what you will, boy. You shall not pass.
Ah. Nerds. Okay, Muradin appears to be nuked, but we'll use our avatar skill anyway. Throw something down there. I think Revenants are undead, so we should be able to use our nuke. Yep. And Knights are doing just fine.
Turn away before it's too late.
Still trying to protect the sword, are you?
No. Trying to protect you from it.
Behold, Muradin, our salvation. Frostmourne.
Halt, lad. There's an inscription on the dais. It's a warning. It says, "Whomsoever takes up this blade shall wield power eternal. Just as the blade rends flesh, so must power scar the spirit." Oh, I should have known. The blade is cursed. Let's get the hell out of here.
I would gladly bear any curse to save my homeland.
Leave it be, Arthas. Forget this business and lead your men home.
Damn the men! Nothing shall prevent me from having my revenge, old friend. Not even you. Now, I call out to the spirits of this place. I will give anything or pay any price, if only you will help me save my people.
Prince Arthas, where is Muradin? We can't hold out for much longer.
Muradin is dead. But take heart, Captain. The enemy will not stand long against the might of Frostedmourne.
So,
I stand for
we
the
now
light.
deal chaos damage because of our sword, which is
I'm here to
super powerful.
For honor.
Chaos damage just basically cuts through pretty much all sorts of armor. And we also deal a lot more damage just in general. And the most important thing is
there
that
danger?
Arthas now has a badass sword. Look at that thing.
I
That's
stand
awesome.
for the light.
Okay, these are Muradin's
my
old
strength.
items. We shall drop, let's say... Most of these are potions, they're useless. The Ring of Regeneration is awfully nice.
your command.
But, it's not really that critical.
Of course.
So, we will just let it sit on the ground for forever. Why not? We could eventually sell those to some sort of merchant if we were able to find one.
Your honor.
But I don't think it's going to really be worth like the
For the
15
king.
or so gold or whatever will end up being. So now, as you can see, we need to destroy Mal'Ganis' base, which is over here. And what we're going to do is we're going to get a lot of steam tanks instead of the mortar teams, because steam tanks are extremely strong and they will just rip through the base quite a bit easier than what we would normally be able to accomplish with the mortar teams. And while we do that, we're really low on gold and our lumber, unfortunately, because we're in high upkeep, and you see when the peasants are returning gold, they're only returning 4. So they are not being particularly efficient. But we do have quite a lot of fighting units already. So once we get these siege engines rolling, we will have probably enough units to go ahead and just kill these bases. The entirety of his base kind of occupies this whole triangle area over in the mini-map. It's just like, whoops, I don't know what I'm doing there. I'm right-clicking. I don't want to be right-clicking. I want to use the ping tool. But, you know, it's like kind of just all over this area. I think there's an expansion down here too, but we probably won't bother with it because we don't really need that gold that badly. And I think that that's really going to be the gist of our strategy. Just going to take whatever units we have on our base defense, because we have a whole bunch of knights and stuff like that. They're just sitting around. Arthas will go ahead and kill that necromancer. There we go. That's nice. Yeah, Arthas is doing crazy amounts of damage now. I don't think I lost any units there. Good. Excellent, even.
I am
We
ready.
might as well also
I am honored.
attack the captain on into our little group of death and destruction. Yeah, okay. I'm just gonna go ahead and cut until we have a sufficient group of these steam tanks. See you in a minute. Alrighty, so we got ourselves 4 steam tanks. I feel like that's pretty sufficient. Let's start rolling out. This is a control group that consists of a bunch of our knights, the captain and Arthas. We'll leave a little bit of some base defenses. Might as well grab
The light.
the
strength.
2 priests and put them in this group as well. I think I'll also grab one of
Is
these
someone
priests over here.
Of course.
And we'll put the steam tanks in group 3, and we'll have our Griffin Rider in group 2, just because we have him, and we might as well use him since we do have him. He'll be pretty useful
I
for,
stand for the light.
well, I have no idea yet,
sound
but I assume that he'll eventually prove his worth in some sort of capacity or another.
I'm here to help.
And we'll leave behind this guy, but since we're attacking to the north, I don't think that we're going to see any attack groups come from the north, because we'll just be fighting our way through whatever groups happen to come down through this direction. I'm going to lead the charge with the steam tanks because they have ridiculous armor and can just take the beating that they will end up enduring. And okay, this is
I'm here to help.
a mighty fierce and terrifying group of, well, people harvesting gold in a nearby graveyard. It took a lot of preparation. Uh-oh. This didn't play out as well as I had hoped. Okay, pull these people back. We need to actually get this entire group
Your wish,
consolidated into one if we want to really stand a
Without
chance, I
delay.
think.
your wish.
Yeah, well, actually that ended up working out pretty well. But, okay, that's fine.
The light is my
We're
strength.
going to continue to go off in this
Certainly.
direction in search of his base.
You can
I
count
guess
on me.
maybe I misremembered this map, and there really isn't a whole lot more off in this direction. Looks like there's this kind of spikely danglies over here. I guess somewhere there's a purple base,
Aye, sir.
because there are purple units that came to fight. The purple base is probably somewhere over in this direction. There's probably a lot of secrets on this map as well, but since this is the last map of the human campaign, it really doesn't matter if we find them or not, because we're not going to even be able to use them.
I'm here to help.
I should have probably led this charge with the steam tanks, but that's okay. Oh, that is an interesting skill. The Crypt Fiends use a little spider web to bring my Griffin Rider down onto the ground, which means that he is technically no longer flying, which means he can't attack flying units, among a couple other little things. And that's not good. Actually, this is fine. We'll use our steam tanks to absorb the damage from this tower, but as you can tell, we're also getting hit by the catapult, and because these tanks have a special armor, they're basically considered buildings. That means that they
Forces are under attack.
take a lot of damage from these catapults and other such siege units. Oh, hello, Frostworm. This big dragony thing is a Frostworm, and I am tempted to heal somebody instead of fighting the worm. That's perfectly okay, though.
Of course.
We need to go ahead and pull back and just kind of consolidate our forces a little bit. And I also need to go about the process of repairing the siege engines. This knight's taking a bit of a pounding, but it's okay because we'll have all of our forces here to help him out. Give him some heals, I guess. And I think that we don't really need to worry about this gargoyle too much. We do need to worry about those frostworms. I think I'll probably need to bring along a sorcerer or something to use like her slowing spells and things like that against that thing, because we don't really have a whole lot of good anti-air in this group, because we don't really have any ranged units whatsoever. But for now, what I'm going to do is pull this guy, because we have a lot of a fair amount of excess lumber. We should probably make 2 peasants to replace him, though. What we need to be doing is repairing repairing these units, because they don't get healed like the way a regular unit would. They just get repaired as if they were building instead. We also need to be focusing down on Mal'Ganis here, who has decided to show his face and fight us, IRL, which is a problem, because he's really tough. But he's not a problem, because he's really dead. So, I guess it all kind of worked itself out. Do need to make sure that we're keeping our knights and whatnot in good health. They are taking quite a bit of a pounding, because they don't really have anything in terms of defenses. I mean, they have lots of defenses, but what I'm saying is they don't have anything in terms of health. And now we have to deal with the Frostworm again. So, this is currently not playing out too well in our favor. We will just do a tactical retreat and probably get our asses kicked by various bros. Just like that. Okay, so we definitely need a couple of forces in tow to kill the Frostworm, especially, and just kind of generally handle these crowds a little bit better. But what we can do is, let's nuke this guy just to get rid of him a little bit quicker, as we have no ranged units with which to fight this person.
You have a target?
Okay, singular rifleman, you have a job to do. Oh, he went away on his own. A self-fixing problem, the best kind of problem. So we need to do a couple of things. Our siege units are now nice and repaired. We will need to grab a sorceress for sure, because she'll be able to use this spell called Polymorph, which can turn units temporarily into helpless units that just go around on the ground. And
What ails
then we can do that to the Frostworm so that we can just kill it without it having to, without any of its real defenses being active or anything like that. Now, it'll still have the same amount of health and armor that it would normally have, but we're not going to really worry about that. We should be able to just kind of overwhelm it. Because the main problem is I'm not really bringing any ranged units here because I don't want to have to deal with micromanaging them. And I
Help me.
think
Help you.
we should probably train up another sorceress. But yeah, I'm not bringing a whole lot of ranged units because I am feeling a little bit lazy and just want to make sure that we have a lot of ground forces instead, because that'll make killing the base itself a lot easier. I don't think that we have any real incentive to kill the purple base. It's supposed to take some of the heat off of fighting in defending our bases, but we don't really need to deal with that all that much. Another way that we could kill this Frostworm, which perhaps would be a little bit safer, is training up a bunch of these gyrocopters and using their inherent, like, super powerful anti-air abilities. But I like the idea of using the polymorph. I think it's a little bit classier, a little bit more interesting.
Those are whimsical today.
And we are going to put them in control group 2, because they're kind of like special forces. As you can see, we've researched the second level, so we get access to invisibility. Invisibility is, by and large, not really all that useful in the campaign, so we're not going to really showcase that off very much. What we are waiting for is getting this here, master training, which will give us what we really want. I'm also going to do not what I said earlier and train a Griffin Rider, because why not? They're just really cool and powerful.
Yes, my lord.
How are we doing on upgrades in general? Mithril plating is good. That's going to increase the armor of our tanks, which is desirable. And they also have their maximum damage going for them now, which is also desirable. Yeah, I think that all we're waiting for now is just this master training to kick in. Speed you up, Sue. And there it goes. Okay, let's start moving our units into their base. I'm going to swing north instead of towards the right into the Frostworm pit, because I want to avoid the giant dragon as much as possible, which is probably a reasonable statement to make. I would assume that I would act a similar way in real life. Again, we will lead off with our... Oh, they have gargoyles. Shoot. That's okay. I picked up a Griffin Rider.
I'll do it.
We can put them in group 4 as kind of our general anti-air.
Help me. Help you.
Okay, so we're going to go ahead and lead in with our tanks now, which is going to cause a bit of a ruckus in the base, but whatever. It's their base, not mine. I don't care. And we can go ahead and use polymorph on that gargoyle just to... Oh, it's flying. That's a shame. Okay, well, at least it doesn't do a whole lot of damage when it's flying. Hopefully this Griffin Rider will get here pretty fast. The Griffin Riders are super powerful, and they should be able to just kill these things, even if there's only one of them.
Of course.
Okay, we're taking a little bit of a pounding from this catapult. I don't want to fight it, because I don't want to incur the wrath of a worm that happens to be called Frosty and fly a whole lot. But, okay, we are working alright with this gargoyle strategy of letting the Griffin Rider kind of take care of it for us. And hopefully the Griffin Rider will now start focusing down on... Yes! It's focusing down on the other gargoyle, which is good. And I think that that is going pretty much exactly the plan. Let's kill this... Oh, it's permanently... Oh, okay. They're using... The sorceresses appear to be using polymorphs kind of willy-nilly. But that's okay. Go ahead and attack that gargoyle Griffin Rider while we focus down this barracks-ish thing. Oh boy, those don't look too good. Yep, that's not what I like to see. We'll have to rebuild that.
I'm here to help.
That's okay though.
Justice
Focus
shall
down this gargoyle. Move you over here to kill that gargoyle now. And hopefully our bros here are
Is someone
holding down. Oh crap, we lost both of them.
Be gone,
That's okay.
spawn of darkness.
There's worse things in life. So we will queue up getting a few towers now. Just go ahead and replace them. That's simple enough. Move the sorcerer eye back
What a
up with
good
the
idea.
group. And now we're going to swing through the north area and then come down so that we won't be having to deal with a whole lot of forces when we actually get to the Frostworm Den itself, which is this building right here. And I led off with the wrong units. That's okay. We need to kill the last visage of their defensive tower type units,
For honor.
which is just this thing. In fact, I can go ahead and just let's just take it building by building, because they're gonna focus down on these. On the steam tanks, no, they're not. That's okay. It really doesn't matter. If they're focusing down the knights are very, very, very tough as well. And they're not going to take a whole lot of damage from the piercing, I don't think. I think that heavy... I don't remember if it's strong against piercing or weak against it. But... Oh! Here we go. Time to shine. Sorceresses. Polymorph. Excellent. Griffin Rider. Kill that thing. And pull you backs. Okay, Griffin Rider. Start hitting that. Yeah, it appears to be going ahead and just really absorbing a lot of those blows because, well, it's keeping its armor and its health. This is the toughest sheep to have ever lived. It has... Oh, I can nuke it. There we go. Okay, Frostworm is taken care of. Very nice. And most of the defensive structures are also down. We'll start using our steam tanks to roll through the rest of the base at pretty much our leisure now. We don't really have to do much more here. We'll go ahead and keep our sorceresses with the group anyway because they can use their auto-casting slow. And maybe there'll be another Frostworm surprise. I really hope not. But if there is, we should be able to just polymorph it and nuke it like we did previously. Kill off all these acolytes. Oh, they actually are undead. Interesting. I thought that they would be considered human instead of straight up undead. But I guess they are in fact. Frostworm surprise. Not what I like to see. Griffin Rider attack that. Arthas, get over here and get to nuking, please. Yep. Looking good.
Our forces are under attack.
Looking good. Yeah, okay. All is good. This guy is not so good. Okay. Pull everyone back. Send the steam tanks in to charge.
Justice shall be done.
And follow up.
You are past protection.
We should probably go ahead and upgrade these towers as well. I don't think that there's a whole lot of time left in the mission anyway, but you never know.
Count on me.
Might as well have them available, right? We need to heal this knight, and that should pretty much do it now. We just need to kill off this structure so that we don't deal with any more Frostworms. And then we just pretty much kill the rest of all the green buildings, and that should be it for the human campaign. We don't really need to bother with killing any of the other forces here, I don't think. There are some neutral creep camps like I think that we passed by. Yeah, some interesting action going on here, and there was some trolls here, I think, but, well, whatever. Alright, that's it. End of the human campaign. We win.
So, you've taken up Frostmourne at the expense of your comrades' lives, just as the Dark Lord said you would. You're stronger than I thought.
You waste your breath, Mal'Ganis. I heed only the voice of Frostmourne now.
You hear the voice of the Dark Lord. He whispers to you through the blade you wield. What does he say, young human? What does the Dark Lord of the Dead tell you now?
He tells me that the time for my vengeance has come.
What? He can't possibly mean to...
It is finished.
After taking his vengeance upon Mal'Ganis, Prince Arthas wandered off into the frozen wastelands of Northrend. Tormented by Frostedmournes' maddening voice, Arthas lost the last vestiges of his sanity. Now driven by the sword's dark will, Arthas plans to return home to Lordaeron and claim his just reward.